It is the question on everyone's lips as we head into the festive period. Will we see a white Christmas? Well, as we heard during the news bulletins, not looking likely. And while the dream of a snowy morning is fading, the forecast is still promising a crisp winter experience. To give us the full breakdown of what to expect across the Banner County and what those travelling home might face on the roads, I'm joined now by the Tullycrine Met Éireann forecaster Michelle Dillon. Michelle, thanks for joining us this morning.
You're welcome, Alan. Good morning to all your listeners.
Unfortunately, a bear bad news that we aren't going to see a white Christmas in Clare or indeed the country.
Yep, not at all. We've high pressure in charge, so that means it's going to be dry. But it is going to turn more seasonal, Alan, because we'll be set into an easterly airflow. So that's going to drag in colder air. And we're going to see some frosty nights and some frosty early mornings and some lovely crisp winter sunshine. So turning colder and mainly dry. So good news really for those travelling, because we've fairly good conditions now. Well, at the moment there's some cloud and some patchy rain and there's a little bit of mist, but that's going to be clearing. So after today and tomorrow, a bit of cloud to begin, and it is going to become mostly sunny as we go through the day, and good sunshine in for Christmas Day and Stephen's Day. So I suppose the hazard is some frosty nights and frosty mornings, so just to take care out on the roads.
OK, so no white Christmas, but it will be more Christmas than white Christmas. And if we go through day by day, you mentioned Christmas Eve. Temperatures expected to dip as low as -1 tomorrow night. How widespread is that frost likely to be?
It's going to be fairly widespread tomorrow night, Ellen. So widespread frost tomorrow night and also on Christmas night. And the winds will be light enough around Clare, and the skies are going to be clear. So lovely clear skies for Santa's trip around Clare and around Ireland tomorrow night. But those clear skies mean we will have frost forming. So fairly widespread frost tomorrow night and Christmas night. Then after that, it becomes a little bit breezier into the weekend, so maybe the frost not quite as widespread, a little bit more in the way of cloud around as well. But still some frost even over the weekend and into next week too, high pressure remaining dominant. So those conditions prevailing right through the Christmas period and into the start of the new year.
Yeah, and the mention of frost from tomorrow night, I guess for those travelling late on Christmas Eve or even early on Christmas morning, need to have their wits about them on the roads.
Well, that's it, exactly. That's the hazard over this Christmas. So it's the frost with those light winds and clear skies, frost and some icy patches forming. So just to slow down and to take care tomorrow night and into Christmas morning. And then, all the nights after that as well. But the most widespread frosty nights will be Christmas Eve night and Christmas night.
And Christmas Day itself then, how's it shaping up for people, be they heading out for walks, visits, or even maybe a spin to the coast?
Yeah, so it's going to be a great day for getting out there. You just have to wrap up warm because it is going to be cold, some frost to begin, a few icy patches, but then it's going to be dry and there'll be lovely crisp winter sunshine around. Easterly breezes, bit of a moderate easterly breeze, so it's going to be feeling cold. Temperatures on Christmas Day of around 5 to 7 degrees, so a drop from what we've been used to because it has been mild, very mild recently. So we haven't been used to the colder weather really this winter. So cold and wrap up warm but lovely crisp winter sunshine.
Okay, but would there light rain or drizzle, is that likely to be more hit and miss than a kind of a major feature of Christmas Day?
No, we're not giving any rain at all. We're giving a dry day, so we're being very lucky with the weather. So it's really very good conditions for getting out and about for whatever's happening with the swims and the runs. So it's great, really gives people a chance to get out and about, just to wrap up with.
Okay, that's good to hear. There have been some mention of light rain or drizzle, but good to hear that won't be a prominent feature on Christmas Day. St. Stephen's Day, then, of course, that's when many people head out again. Met Éireann saying high pressure is dominating this week. What will Stephen's Day be like, and why is that high pressure important, and what kind of weather does it usually bring?
Well, high pressure brings us, mostly dry conditions, and depending then on where the high is sitting. So at the moment, and for the Christmas period, the high is going to be to the north of Ireland, so that sets us into an easterly airflow, and that's bringing in the colder weather. So it's really for St. Steve, the high is sticking around with us. Once it comes in tomorrow, it's going to stay with us throughout the Christmas period, next week, into the start of New Year's as well. Just a change in the position of the high will mean winds coming from a different location, and maybe the winds getting lighter even again into next week. But for St. Stephen's Day, really, it's a case of a similar situation as Christmas Day. So starting off frosty, and it's going to be dry with plenty of sunshine. Now, it'll probably become a bit breezier as it goes through the day, and that means then on St. Stephen's night, the frost won't be quite as widespread. So it's really changes in the winds, really subtle changes in the direction, picking up a little bit at times, meaning where frost more widespread some of the nights than others, and most widespread, as I say, Christmas Eve night and on Christmas night.
In terms of mist and fog, and particularly overnight and in the mornings, is that likely to cause any issues anywhere?
Yeah, not in the short term. So, today there's a little bit of mist, but into tomorrow we're looking at really clearer air coming in from the east, clearer, colder conditions. Now, that bit of an easterly breeze is saving us really from mist and fog. But into next week, Ellen, there is, with the winds becoming lighter, there is the chance of mist and fog and freezing fog at that stage. So as we move closer to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, but for next week. But in the short term, really, it's really very favourable conditions for Christmas. The main hazard, or the only hazard really, is the frost and the ice, as opposed to fog. Fog will become more of an issue probably into next week as well.
Okay, maybe let's look a bit further then, Michelle, into the weekend and the following week. What are we looking at weather-wise?
Yeah, so it's more of the same, really, just maybe little bits of changes with the cloud cover and the wind. So, as I said, a lot of sunshine, really sunny skies we can expect for the most for Christmas Day and St. Stephen's Day. Into Saturday, still a lot of sunshine as well. As I said, becoming a little bit breezier through St. Stephen's Day. So a bit of an easterly breeze there on Saturday as well, moderate, occasionally fresh easterly breeze. And then into Saturday night, in sheltered parts, there will be some frost again. Probably more in the way of cloud on Sunday, and then those winds ease again, and so there's likelihood of more in the way of widespread frost starting to develop again from Sunday night into next week. And with those lighter winds, then next week, we have the hazard of fog and freezing fog. But the predominant story next week as well is dry weather, mix of cloud and sunshine. Those cold conditions prevailing. Some frost by night, and with the extra, I suppose, hazard next week of some fog and freezing fog.
Okay, and just before I let you go, Michelle, and you've been brilliant in taking us through a day-by-day, blow-by-blow account of what we can expect. A question in here on 086 1800 964 from Annie in Lisdoonvarna. She says, "Hi, I am 8. Will we have fog for Santa?" Wonders Annie.
Well, we won't have fog for Santa, so that's great news. So our aviation forecast have been in touch with Santa to tell him that it's going to be clear skies across Ireland and across Clare and Lisdoonvarna. So Santa and his reindeer have lovely conditions for travelling. So clear skies, no danger of fog. They'll have some frost, but they're well used to that. It's nothing to them coming from the North Pole.
There you go, Annie, and thanks very much for your question, and don't worry, Santa's going to have no trouble finding your house there. You can take it from Michelle. Michelle, thank you very much. Hope you have a peaceful and safe Christmas and New Year, and thanks so much for joining us on the show.
Thanks very much, Alan, and a very happy Christmas to Annie and to all your listeners.
That's Michelle Dillon there, the Tullycrine Met Éireann forecaster.